Hi, does anyone realize what's going on in the Persian Gulf right now and in the Arabian Sea? Let's look at the headlines from an online newspaper out of the Middle East called Debka File. One of the headlines says that Iran deploys a 60-ship armada for massive war readiness maneuver. So this is a 6-day plan where they're sending out 60 of their ships. I mean, think about it. The Persian Gulf and the Arabian Sea, right around that whole area of Iran, has to be getting so crowded now with all these ships there. The tensions are building between the leaders of both the countries. Israel is dying to do something about the threat from Iran. It's just going to take one little bullet or one speedboat that goes off course or something for this ticking time bomb to explode. I mean, just think about that. Iran deploys 60-ship armada. This was about 3 days ago, and it's a 6-day maneuver that they're doing. And they have ships, they have submarines, and they're doing all types of tests. Now, at the same time, look at this other headline. The U.S. masses naval-air-marine might in the Arabian Sea opposite India, Pakistan, and Iran. So, you know, it's just a matter of time. Think about it, people. Think about the Vietnam War. It's pretty much public knowledge now that the Vietnam War, they said at the time it started because of the Gulf of Tonkin incident. A U.S. ship or something like that was hit by something they said it came from the Vietnamese, the Viet Cong. Later, now the U.S. government admits that that never even happened. So what is it going to take to start the war here? We know these are called false flag events. So this false flag event that is, I mean, it's the perfect situation now, the perfect storm, because you have all of these ships from Iran out there, and you have 3 aircraft carriers from the United States with all of their entourage of ships that go with them, all in the same area, with the leaders of both countries kind of hoping that the other guy shoots first so that they can fight back. I mean, of course, to us, to a lot of people in the world, it almost seems ridiculous that Iran would even consider going against the U.S. with its power, and also it's being backed up by many of its ally friends, and at least England. But I mean, keep your eyes open. They're not showing much on the news right now, but keep your eyes open for what's happening over there in the Persian Gulf and in the Arabian Sea, especially with what happened in India, looking for connections in Pakistan. I mean, things are just heating up and boiling up in that area, and we know that Israel wants to do something against Iran, because all the reports are that the Russians are rushing, sorry for the pun, but the Russians are really trying to get the nuclear reactors in Iran prepared as fast as possible. And I'm surprised that there's not more attention being brought to that. I mean, just that headline alone should send shockwaves, but it doesn't seem to. So you have the Israelis concerned, and the U.S. and just about everyone in the world concerned, that the Iranians are going to have the ability to put together this nuclear bomb, if they want to, sometime during 2009. And they even boast about it. See, this is what's crazy about the whole situation. The Iranian leaders boast about this. Now, the Iranian people, I'm sure they don't want to have war, and I'm sure they're a lot more peaceful. But you have the leaders, especially led by Ahmadinejad, which is just constantly stirring up the anger and stirring up the hatred against the United States. If you want to see a scripture that talks about the Persian leader or the Iranian leader who stirs up everybody against the United States, look at the first few verses of Daniel 11. Daniel 11 verses, I think it's 2, 3, and 4, right around there. You'll see that it says the Persian leader the king of Persia in this case. Now there is no king there, it's a president. He stirs up the anger of many uh, against the United States, is what I think they're talking about. Of course, they say against Greece. And I explained in another video how Greece is a symbol for the United States. We have Greek architecture in our government in Washington, D.C. We speak the international language, American English. Greek was the international language back at that time and at the writing of the New Testament, and that's why it's written in Greek. We supposedly have democracy. Democracy supposedly was born in Greece. There are so many similarities between the two countries. We have the Statue of Liberty at the entrance to the port of our main city. There was the Greek Colossus, which was at the entrance of their city. And it's interesting because the Greek Colossus, the huge statue that many of you might know about, if you don't, Google Colossus. There's this huge statue that they had there, like the Statue of Liberty. It was destroyed, and it's interesting to know that that's probably a prophetic future event for the Statue of Liberty, that it will be destroyed. And there are so many other similarities if you look into them between ancient Greece and the United States. For the culture of Hollywood in the United States gets exported out to the rest of the world in cable TV and movies, and in Greek culture they had the Greek tragedy and the comedy, which was their acting that they did. They influenced the whole world. The Greek culture influenced the whole world with their culture. It even influenced the Catholics and the Jews, and that's why they wear the yarmulke. They both wear the thing on top of their head. Both the bishops and the Pope and the Catholics and the Jews do it too. So take a look at Daniel chapter 11, verses like 2, I think it's 2, 3, and 4. And you'll see it's talking about that. It's building up like crazy now between Iran and the United States. It's just a ticking bomb waiting to explode. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens during this last month of 2008 or January of 2009, before George Bush gets out of office and hands this mess over to Barack Obama. And who knows what could happen by then if another war breaks out, as if there aren't enough wars going on. But we know these are the end times, and Yeshua prophesied it. He said there will be wars and rumors of wars, and that's what we hear now all over the place, not just with the U.S., but many other places and countries in South America too, and all over.